Okay, when it comes to choosing a super profitable niche in the AI automations agency industry, you have to choose a niche that most people aren't choosing because chatbots are so easy to create. All it takes is one person creating a super nice chatbot, and they're going to try to sell to everybody in your industry. They're going to try to sell to everybody in your niche. And it's one of those things where you have to be able to differentiate yourself. You have to be able to do something different. Most people, when it comes to selling niches, they're not really doing anything different. Okay. So in this video, I'm going to give you the key to finding a super profitable niche, okay, and how to think differently and make more money, okay? It simply comes down to this. When you're picking a niche, there are questions that you have to ask yourself, okay? How big is that niche? Because the thing about niche is that you're doubling down on a certain group of people. So if you're choosing the fitness niche, if you're choosing the cooking niche, you're choosing that niche because you're doubling down on those type of individuals. You're doubling down on that industry, those specific people. Because in the workout or in the fitness industry, there's working out, there's the gym rats, there's the supplements, there's the eating healthy, the diets, there's all these different niches, right? So if you say, oh, I'm targeting women who work out or plus size women who work out or older women who work out or whatever niche you decide to do, you have to ask yourself, how big is it? Are there plus size women wanting to work out? Are there older women wanting to work out? Are there, like if it was the example was cooking, or if the example was fitness, or if the example was cooking, are there people who want to eat, say, non or gluten-free foods? Are there people who want to eat pork that's halal, meaning doesn't contain any pork? Okay. Are there people in the industry, and how big is it? The more people that are in the industry, the better it's going to be for you. The less people that are in it, the worse it's going to be for you. Why? Because the less people that are in it, the more competition. So if you choose an industry that's not that big or just growing, just know that you have a lot more competition because everybody's going for the same small number of customers. Okay. Number two, how often do they spend? The reason why people like to make videos of how to make money, how to get rich, how to make 10 grand a month is because YouTube pays you the most per ad on in that type of, when you make that type of content. It's one of those things where at the end of the day, if you're going after fitness people, if you're going after people who eat gluten-free food, do they have the money, and how much money or how often do they spend? Because it's one of those things where if people, if somebody works out once a year, they're probably not going to make you that much money because at the end of the day, if they make you $5 today, okay, that's it. They just made you $5. Or if the customer, say you have a client, right, and you're working with the business and they only pay you once and they pay you $100, okay, that's pretty much it. Now you have to go to the next company, and sooner or later you're going to feel like you ran out of companies, or you're going to have to go to a new town, new city. You're going to have to go international because it's so much harder to get to each individual person, especially if they're not paying you monthly and if they're not paying you a lot. So if somebody's only paying you $100, $50, $1, and it's the only time they do it, then it's like, eh. But you have to ask yourself, how often do they spend? Because if they're not spending that much money, that not that often, then it's like, why are you choosing that niche, and why are you choosing those specific people, right? Compared to the people like in real estate that spend a lot of money and they spend that money often. Compared to in the cooking industry, people go and buy groceries all the time. People spend money at McDonald's every day. So if they're spending money every single day, if they're spending money every single week and every single month, you're more likely to get rich compared to that person who charges them once a year and it's it. Okay. Number three, how much do they spend? Kind of like I said, how often do they spend, and then how much do they spend? People in real estate probably don't spend that much money, but when they finally spend money to buy a house, they spend a lot of money. So if you're in real estate and you get one sale a year, your commission might be 20 grand if it's $500,000 house. So it's one of those things where if the often is not that often, you have to make sure they're spending a lot. And if they're not spending a lot, you have to make sure it's super often. Meaning, if each transaction makes you 50 grand, you can have the whole year to get one or two people. But if each transaction makes you $100, you have to get a lot of people within that same year. And that's part of the mindset that I'm going to teach you today, okay? The third question is, how can I get them to pay me? Meaning, people are constantly spending money. If somebody's spending money on gluten-free food, if somebody's spending money on real estate, how can you get them to pay you? What are you doing to where somebody says, okay, I want to give you money? So like I say, if you have a gluten-free cookie, there's a reason for them to pay you. If you are a real estate agent and you go and you help broker the deal, there's a reason for them to pay you. But what are you doing, or how can you get them to pay you? Whether you create them advertisements, whether you create them chatbots, whether you help them with a service, whether you do an audit, whether you help them maximize, whether you help them minimize, whatever it is that you do, what are you helping them do? Okay. And you have to ask yourself, how often can they pay me? Meaning, whatever service you're giving them, how often can you get them to pay you? If you're a real estate agent, every time you sell a house, that's the time you get paid. So how often can you sell a house? Compared to if you're selling food and each cookie that you sell and you get paid, how often can you sell a cookie? Because I can sell 100 cookies in a day, but I can't sell 100 houses in a day. I can sell, a house for a lot of money, but I can't sell a cookie for 20 grand each. So it's one of those things where each thing kind of plays on each other. And you have to figure out, like I said, how big is the market? How often do they spend money? How much money do they spend? And the money that they spend and the often they spend it, okay, how can I get them to pay me? How often can I get them to pay me? And the last one, which is the most important, is there a community of like-minded people? Meaning, birds of a feather flock together. Meaning, if somebody is spending money on one thing, they're probably hanging around people that also spend money on that same thing. Meaning, if somebody eats a lot of Chick-fil-A, they're probably eating it so much that they're convincing their friend to go to Chick-fil-A. If somebody eats a lot of pizza, they're probably eating it so much that they're convincing their friends to eat pizza. If somebody's working out a lot, they're probably working out so much that they're trying to convince their friend to go work out. It's one of those things where whatever they're doing, they're probably around like-minded people. They're probably in a fitness group. They're probably in a fitness community. They're probably in a fitness Discord. If you love cookies, you're probably you're watching baking videos. You're in a baking community. You're going to the local bake competition. It's one of those things where you're around like-minded people. So at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, the niche that I chose, is there a community of like-minded people? Because whatever your niche is, there are people that are hanging together. Okay. Now this is when it actually gets serious. This is the part that I'm going to teach you that's going to make you different than everybody else. Okay. If you have to pay attention, this is what you pay attention to, because at the end of the day, this is what's going to help you. Okay. This is what's going to help you. Most people, when it comes to the AI automations, they're trying to sell to companies. One more time. Most people, when it comes to the AI automations agencies, they're trying to sell to companies. But the one thing that you can do to be different, the one thing that you can do that nobody's really doing, is you sell to people. This is how you do it. Sell to people, not companies. One more time. Sell to people, not companies. Everybody else is worried about the CEOs. You have to go after the employees. One more time. Everybody's trying to worry about the CEOs, but you have to go after the employees. Think about this. Okay. Meaning, for the example that we're going to use is like I said, the restaurant, right? If you work at if you're trying to go after McDonald's, everybody's worried about going after the CEO of McDonald's to get that big move, but you have to go after the employees, because the employees still spend money. When they get paid, they go and spend money. The employees are what help the owner get money. Like I said, I'll break it down to you. There are 3 key points of why you have to sell to people and not companies, okay? Number 1, they make the owner money. That means the money starts with them and then goes to the owner. The CEO cannot get paid. The CEO does not make money unless he has the employees. The employees are what do the productivity. The employees are the ones that flip the burgers, that sell, that work the register, that promote, that do everything. The employees are the ones that do all of the work. So without the employees, the CEO doesn't make money. So when everybody's going to the CEO, you have to be worried about the employee. Why? Because the employee is the one that makes the CEO money. One more time. When everybody's worried about the CEO, you have to be worried about the employee, because the employee is the one that makes the CEO money. Okay. The reason why this is so important is because McDonald's can have 6, 7 employees that they hire, but they only have 1 or 2 people in management, right? But those same people still, at the end of the day, they still buy shoes, they still put gas in their car, they still have to drive, they probably take their kids to school, they probably still eat cookies, it's one of those things where at the end of the day, if somebody loves food, right? If somebody loves food, those people at McDonald's still have to eat. Think about that. Those people still have to eat. So if you're trying to sell a chatbot, don't create a chatbot that goes and sells to the company. Create a chatbot that sells to the employee. So if you were going after McDonald's, you would create a chatbot that literally sold, like I said, anything else besides trying to sell to the company. So you would sell the person shoes, you would sell the person a shirt, you would sell the person a subscription box to the car, because they have to drive to get to work. So you can sell a subscription box to the car. You can sell rings, accessories toys. You can sell experience. You can sell them a Netflix account. You can sell them pet supplies because they probably have a dog at home. Whatever you want to sell them, you can create a chatbot for literally anything else. But the person that's in your head is the employee, not the CEO, because even the CEO at the end of the day, he goes and like I said, he eats food. He has to put gas in his car. He has to take care of his kids. He has to do things that's like everybody else. So you're worried about the everybody else rather than worrying about just that one person. Okay. The second reason, they build and join communities. Food lovers will be around other food lovers, meaning if you work as an employee somewhere, right? You're bound to whatever it is that you do after work. So say, like I said, like if you're you drove your car to work, right? Say you sell a box, say you sell a car kit where every month, you sell car kits to, to people, right? And then every month you get a little box. It has a bunch of little nice stuff for your car. Like one month it has a charger, the next month it has a phone holder, whatever it is, right? You just sell stuff for your car, right? Instead of selling to the CEO, the thing is you can sell to the CEO too. But the reason why I say not to really even concentrate on it is because the employees. The reason why you're selling to the employees is because, like I said, that person at McDonald's, that fitness coach, the person who cooks, the real estate agent, they all, at the end of the day, they drive a car to and from work. So if you sell a car kit, you now can sell to literally different industries. You can sell to different niches. You can sell to different people. You can sell to more people. Think about this. Instead of going to the owner of the real estate company, you can sell to the owner plus all the agents because they all have cars. Instead of going to the McDonald's owner, you can sell to the McDonald's owner plus the employees because they all drove to work. It's one of those things where instead of selling to the CEO, you have to sell to the employees. Think about it. This is what I mean. You have to break it down a little bit. Okay? The third thing, they spend less, but they spend more often. Meaning, the CEO might spend 10 grand on some software, and he might use it he might not change for 3 months. But that employee buys new shoes every other week. They put gas in their car often. They get hungry. They get bored. They want to play basketball. They want to work out. Whatever it is. Meaning, it's easier to convince the CEO to buy, say like a fitness company. It's easier to convince the employee to get your chatbot that tells you the things that you should eat and how to, how to take care of your body and how to become a personal trainer or how to make money being in the fitness industry or whatever chatbot you create. It's easier to sell to the employee than it is the CEO because the CEO has so many people coming to him, so many people saying, hey, buy my chatbot, blah, 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 blah. But like I said, you simply can sell a chatbot to the employee. So you could like say if it's like a fitness one, it can teach people how to become a fitness person. It can teach you, how to train somebody yourself. It can teach you the things that recently came out in the fitness industry that most people don't talk about. It can have frequently asked questions for the people. Meaning, if you create a chatbot that the employee can take with him, like I said, because they say the boss doesn't get it, but the employee downloads an app on your phone. The employee downloads a chatbot on your phone. When the person goes to meet with with the client, there's probably questions that the client asked that they probably don't even know the answer to, especially if it's like a good scientific question. So if I come to you and I say, hey, does 100% oxygen in the blood cause brain damage? You're going to be like, I'm not sure. But if you have a chatbot that literally like has the information, like a legal bot or like one of those ones that, you feed all the information to and you can look it up, that person can simply look up the information and be like, oh, does this cause blah, blah, blah. The chatbot will be like, yeah, yes, it does. The 100% 100% oxygen does cause brain damage. So then you go back to that person and be like, yes, 100% oxygen does cause brain damage. And it's one of those things where you're doing your job better, even though you still work for somebody else, even though you still work for the owner, even though you still work for that fitness company, even though you're still just an agent, even though you're still just a coach, a professional, even though you're just you're just a coach that just got started, they still using your app. You know what I mean? They're still downloading your app. So it's one of those things where imagine if every fitness employee has your app downloaded and they use it to answer questions that they have when they go see clients. Now you have 7 people that downloaded your app, right? Probably paying $50, $100 a month, whatever you charge them, compared to trying to get the CEO to get the whole company the app. Think about it. You have to, like I said, if it doesn't make sense, like, I don't know if it ever will, but if it makes sense to you, then at least you might understand, okay? But kind of like I said, they spend less, but they eat more often. You eat every day, but not always at the same restaurant. Meaning, if you go after one restaurant, you lose all the customers that are literally eating at every other restaurant. But if you go after the customer, it doesn't matter what restaurant they go to, you get them every single time. One more time. If you go after the restaurant, you lose all the people that are eating at that specific restaurant. But if you go after the person, no matter what restaurant they eat at, you simply are there every single time to get the sale. Okay? It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Okay? Next. The reason why you want to go after employees and not the CEO is because it's easier to get 100 clients for $100 than it is to get 10 clients for $1,000. Like, think about it. When's the last time you spent $1,000? And when's the last time you convinced somebody else to give you $1,000? If somebody came up to you right now, even if it was your best friend, your sister, your brother, your mother, your dog came up to you and said, hey, bro, let me borrow $100. Here you go. If that same person came up to you and said, hey, bro, let me borrow $1,000. Oh, what do you need it for? When do I get it back? Why so much money? Why don't you have your own money? You know what I'm saying? People just get more defensive when they see that 0, 0, 0. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where you have to target this while everybody else is targeting this. Why? Because they're more likely to say yes. It's more practical, and you get to work your way up. It's easier to get 100 people to give you $100. Like I said, it's easier to get 1,000 people to give you $1 than it is to get 10 people to give you 1,000. Because like I said, be practical. When's the last time somebody gave you $1,000? To get $1,000 from some random stranger, you have to be well known. That means you have to put in more work. You have to have experience. You have to do more yourself, which is going to cost you. Most people are broke. The thing is, most people don't have money to spend like that. Like, most people don't even have an emergency fund. Most people don't have a savings. Like, most people don't have money, bro. Like, you trying to charge $10,000 per chatbot? Like, good luck. Like, most people don't got money. Like, most people are broke. Like, it's easier for somebody to have $100 than it is 1,000. Like, 1,000 is literally their month's rent. 100 is literally like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Don't eat McDonald's for a couple of days. You feel me? Like, don't eat Whataburger for the next 2 weeks and you're good. Like, don't eat pizza for the next 2 weeks and you're good and you get everything that I give you. But $1,000 is like, damn, like the whole month. Imagine telling somebody not to eat for a whole month. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's easier to convince somebody to not eat for a week than it is for a whole month. Like, come on now. But it's one of those things where at the end of the day, like I said, the one thing that you have to take away from this video, the one thing that you have to take away from this little course that I did is that it's easier to get 100 clients to give you $100 than it is to get 10 people to give you $1,000, because you have to be well known. Most people are broke and it's super unrealistic to scale, meaning it's going to be so hard to find people to give you $1,000. Like, you're going to have to spend so much money on impressions to find that one person who's willing to spend $1,000. But if you spend so much money on impressions and you go after 100 people, they're gonna easily give you $100. There's a reason why McDonald's charges each burger for $1 rather than trying to get you to, be like Whataburger, trying to get you to be like Dairy Queen, because McDonald's sells more burgers. Why? Because people pull up by the boatload. People will go to Whataburger and buy it. I'm not saying Whataburger's not gonna have people pulling up. That's fine. But at the end of the day, McDonald's has way more people pulling up because they do it for cheaper. And so because you get to scale, because you have so much access to more people, and because you have more people that are going to say yes, you literally set yourself up for success. So do yourself that favor. And like I said, target the 100 people for $100 rather than trying to do 10 people for $1,000, because the 10 people for $1,000 is literally like you're only hurting yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that the thing is, most people, it's unrealistic. Like, most people don't have it in them to sell $1,000 product because it's so much work that goes into it. Like, yes, it sounds all wishy, it sounds all nice, like on paper, but like, let's be for real, let's be realistic. Like, it's hard to get somebody to give you $1,000. Like I said, imagine all the times that you gave somebody $1,000, and like in that product, I'm sure you probably still you're still on your mind today. But imagine the last time you spent $100 and you probably didn't even really think about it. Okay, so that's the mindset you have to have. Most people are going after the CEO who's trying to get $1,000, but you have to go after the employee and get $100, because that's how. Okay. So for the people that made it this far, this is the little bonus. This is the little examples that I'm going to give you, right? I'm going to give you at least 5 little niches that you can use, create chatbots for, and examples of how I actually use them. Number 1 is Snackers Club. Snackers Club is actually my company and my chatbot, where I buy exotic snacks and I resell them using the chatbot. Pretty much is a chatbot that you go on to, and it pretty much just says like, what are you looking for? Do you want chips? Do you want soda? Do you want candy? Oh, I want this. Oh, no problem. Do you want it from Thailand? Do you want it from Germany? Do you want it from Asia? Oh, I want it from here. No problem. Do you want 1? Do you want 2? Do you want 3? I want 5. No problem. And the chat just kind of goes through the flow, right? It just tells you, asks you what kind of candy you want, how many you want, where you want it from. And at the end, it just says check out. People just check out and it literally just sells them candy. Nothing crazy. It's literally just a chatbot that sells them candy, but it also sells snacks. So it sells you soda. It sells you chips. But the thing is, those chips are from other places. So I order 100 bags of chips for $50, and then I sell them each for $10 each. And so it's one of those things where you like I said, I can create another video on it and break it down fully. But at the end of the day, you're pretty much just buying snacks and you're using the chatbot to sell them. So you can go to an employee and be like, hey, use this chatbot to, get yourself some lunch. Have you ever tasted ice cream from Thailand? Not ice cream. Have you ever tasted chips from Korea? Or have you ever tasted soda from Thailand? No problem. I have a chatbot that can get you what you need. Have you ever tried these Chinese candies? They're the most popular in China. Oh, you never tried it? No problem. My chatbot can get you what you need. It's as simple as that. The next one is a car care subscription box. A car care subscription box is pretty much like every month somebody pays you, say, $20, $50, $100, $200, and you pretty much just send them a box full of stuff that they could use for their car. Things like chargers, phone mounts, cup holder stuff, car seats, just air freshener, just things that people just could use for their car. But you make it a subscription box. So the chatbot will literally come to you and say, what kind of car do you have? Oh, you give it what kind of car you have. It says, no problem. What kind of box are you looking for? And then you could say, you can spend a little bit of money and get a couple of things, or you can spend a lot of money and get a lot of things. And at the end, you always charge $500 or more than $300 for the mystery box. The mystery box is pretty much like, you spend $500 and just know that you're going to enjoy what you like. And you just go to Amazon, you just buy some of the best things that you can see. Like the Amazon bestsellers, you literally just throw like 30 of them. You spend like $300 to create the Amazon bestseller, and then the $200 is profit. But the $300 is like how you spend it like to pretty much actually buy the people the stuff, and then you just ship it to them in the little box. And like I said, I can make a video going to each one and how to actually launch it. But this is just kind of a rundown. And if you like just me telling you the name and what it is, you can watch more YouTube videos on it and kind of get the flow. But this, I'm just giving you the niches, and you can do more research on the niche. And I'm gonna make more videos on the niche. And there's probably already a video on my channel. So if you go through my videos and actually look for the Snackers Club or the car kit, you might actually be able to find it. Okay. But pretty much it's like a box of stuff for your car every month. And like I said, you simply just put a bunch of stuff in a box that's car related, and you just tell somebody, hey, pay me $20 a month, and I'll send you a new box every month. And each month you just switch up the boxes. This month is a charger, a phone, a charger, some spray, and whatever. The next month is a car seat and this. The next month is a steering wheel and this and that. You just switch it up. You just keep going. The third one is a credit builder. It's a chatbot. You literally come, it asks you what your credit is, and then it gives you ways to build it. It gives you the best credit cards that you could use, and then it gives you some referrals. The way to make money off of this one is simply to do the referrals, meaning you could tell it to, put its money into things like investing or whatever. You could tell it to apply for credit cards on Credit Karma or whatever. But the thing is, some of these platforms will pay you to refer people. So Credit Karma will be like, oh, we'll give you $50 for every person you get to sign up. Chime will be like, oh, we'll pay you $50 for every person you get to sign up. So you're just telling people like, hey, the one card that I would use, or the chatbot would literally be like, what's your credit? You're like 570. The chatbot's like, no problem. You should download Chime and build your credit using this. Somebody downloads, click the link, they download Chime, and then you get a little check because they actually use your chatbot. It's as simple as that. You get like a little referral. And so then that person actually starts building their credit, and they actually work for you at the end of the day. And then the thing will say, oh, do you want to talk to an actual person? It's $100 per consultation. And then the consultation is pretty much just like comes to you, he sets you an appointment, and you pretty much use that appointment to talk to people. So the person calls you and you ask them, hey, what kind of stuff do you have in your credit? What kind of inquiries do you have? Oh, okay. What's your goal? How fast are you trying to fix it? Okay, like how much money do you have to spend? You just ask them questions. Oh, this is what I have. My credit is this. This is how much money I'm trying to spend. This is how fast I'm trying to do it. Let me know. You say no problem. Then you just go and just come up with a plan. You tell them, hey, download Credit Karma and, put $50 in a month. It's going to help you go up 10 points. For this one, I'm going to pay it off $50 every month, and it's going to help you go down, go up, or whatever. You just come up with a little plan for them. It's at the end of the day, like I said, I can make a video telling you how to create a credit builder chatbot, but just know that creating a chat, like you can look up videos on it. It doesn't have to be me teaching you every single time. Okay. The pet lovers. Pretty much you buy and sell pet supplies and toys, right? You create a chatbot that pretty much comes on there and says, what kind of pet do you have? Oh, I have a fish. No problem. Here's some fish food. Here's some fish tanks. Here's some fish filters. Here's some fish toys. It's as simple as that. Or you come on there, oh, I have a dog. No problem. Here's some dog toys. Here's some dog treats. Here's some dog shirts and dresses. Just stuff like that. Here's some dog stickers. Here's some dog posters, whatever. It's pretty much like the person comes on there, and you just give them like information about the pet, and then you just sell them things based off of it. And then this is as simple as literally like you create an Amazon account, and then you pretty much like you just resell that product. It's kind of like drop shipping, but you use a chatbot to do it. So like, say you drop, it's like you go to like Shopify and you put, you go on there that you want to sell, cat food or whatever. You use a link to go to your chatbot. So when somebody comes on there and they click, oh, I need to get cat litter. Oh, I need to get cat food. It literally just takes them to your Shopify account. They buy, boom, it ships it, boom, 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 boom. It ships it off to them. They get it, you get your money. It's as simple as that. Pretty much, you just get the information of what kind of pet they have, and then you just give them a list of all the things that they could have that would help them be a better pet owner. So if you could ask them things like, venting questions like, oh, did you just become owner? How long have you had the dog? How old is he? Does he have any conditions and stuff like that? And then you just recommend them stuff. Oh, you're a gluten-free person and your dog wants to be gluten-free too? No problem. Oh, you're a Muslim and your dog also doesn't eat pork? No problem. You know what I'm saying? You just give them a solution for it at the end of the day. Okay. The last one is the diaper drive. This is the one that I'm 100% sure no other person is even mentioning ever. And this is the one that I get to say that I originally came up with. Okay. But it pretty much is like take diapers from mothers who have and give to who need. Pretty much it's like you use like clothes drives. It's kind of like using a clothes drive mindset, but for a chatbot, right? You go on the chatbot, you ask you two questions. Are you giving or are you receiving? If you're giving, you pretty much like you put everything into a box. We'll pay for shipping and handling because like we'll give you a little label and everything like that. And it's as simple as literally like you get the box, you put the label on it, and you just ship it to us. The label is gonna have like our address, gonna have all our information, blah 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 blah. And the people would just ship you like a whole bunch of diapers, a whole bunch of stuff like toys, just random stuff, right? And you just filter it. You clean some of the stuff. You could even ship it to an employee, and you have them do it because at the end of the day, if you don't want to do the work, you can have them do it, right? But you pretty much like you get the person who wants to give you whatever it is, the diapers, the toys, whatever, and then all you do is just catalyze it. You put everything into a box, and then there's going to be people on there that comes because there's two questions that ask you: are you giving or are you receiving? There are people that are going to say I'm receiving. When you want to receive, you're going to put your name, info, and it's going to just put you on a list. When somebody sends us something, we're going to call you and say, hey, we have these toys, we have this box, we have this. You're next in line. Do you want it? Yes, I want it. No problem. What's your address? Boom, we send it to you. It's one of those things where the people who want it, you can charge them a small fee, like because since you're getting it for free, it's kind of like Goodwill. Goodwill gets clothes for free. They charge you a small fee, and they pretty much give it to the next person, right? It's kind of like that. You charge them $5 for a box of things that would cost $50, and so at the end of the day, you made $5. But you know what I'm saying, it's like you're helping the people, and so if you have 1,000 women giving you stuff, and then you have 1,000 women paying you $5 each. That's $5,000 you're making from each person, and it's like the money is going in and out, and you're also helping women help women. It's one of those things where you help people, and you're solving those people's problems. Okay. The thing about this is this is the quote that I was gonna have. I was gonna give before we leave and stuff like that. But before I leave, the one key that I want to give is, if you want to automate all of these things like the sneaker club, the snackers club, the car case, subscription credit builder, the thing about it is you automate it using the chatbot. Because if you know anything about chatbots, like this is telling you the niches of the chatbot, but if you know anything about creating chatbots, you know that you can use things like Zapier, you can use ChatGPT, and you can use VoiceFlow. The Zapier pretty much does all of the integration for you. So when it comes to getting these people's emails, when it comes to putting people on the list, when it comes to sending people an email, sending them a list, sending people a message, giving the information, asking people to send you the stuff, when it comes to talking to a real person, when it comes to like actually creating that account, all this the AI can do for you. Okay, you literally can set it all up in Zapier, and then the system will automatically get triggered for each step. Meaning when somebody comes and clicks, well, I want to receive, the thing is already going to know what step to take. So it's going to be like, okay, what's your name? What's your email? What's this? What's that? And it gives you all the information. Then it automatically puts on an Excel spreadsheet for you. Now you have a spreadsheet of all the people that gave. Now you have a spreadsheet of all the people that want. And it's one of those things where you say, hey, Jessica from New Orleans, you say that this box is dedicated from Jessica New Orleans. And at the end of the day, you ship it to them. And whenever you ship it to them and you give somebody that box of the things that donated, you go back to the first person and you say, hey, your box just touched down in Washington and helped Rebecca. You know what I'm saying? So the person who gave it, gets a message saying, hey, your box just helped Rebecca, put some diapers on her baby. And then now Rebecca's like, oh, I feel good. And then the other lady's like, yes, I got some, diapers for my baby for $5. Plus I got some toys and a blanket. It's one of those things where, like everybody's helping each other, but the AI does everything for you. So you don't have to send those emails. You don't have to know what to type in the email. You use ChatGPT and stuff like that. You pretty much just like can automate the process, but this is what you have to automate. So this video was pretty much just giving you like what niches to choose. And then the next step is to automate all these stuff. And like I said, things like Zapier alone is going to do all the work for you. Things like VoiceFlow is going to be where you build your app. And VoiceFlow and Zapier have an integration to where you just combine them. Okay. And it's as simple as that. Okay. The key to artificial intelligence has always been the representation. Jeff Hawkins. Okay. I want y'all in the comment section to tell me what you think this means. The key to artificial intelligence has always been representation. What do you think this means? Okay. I'm curious. This is a quote that I want to leave with. I'm curious. In the comment section, what do you think this quote means? Okay. Because at the end of the day, I'll make another video talking about what I think it means, but it won't be this video. But the thing is, I'm going to look through the comments and see what you guys have learned. I want to see how many people made it towards the end of the video. I want to see how many people are actually like empowered by this and how many people actually learn something by this. Because like I said, I'm sitting here trying to teach you the simple ways by making a couple presentations. But it's like at the end of the day, like, let me know how you feel. Let me know if this is helpful. Okay. And like I said, this is the quote that I'm ending it on. But do me the favor and like subscribe to the channel. Give me a like, leave a comment. And if you haven't commented the whole video, comment right now. Tell me what you think of this quote. You can say this quote sucks. You can say I don't understand it. You can say I love it. It reminds me of my dog. It reminds me of my brother. Or whatever it is you want to say. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. But at the end of the day, like I said, I make channels for people who want to implement AI into their companies and sell AI related products. Okay. And like I said, if you find it helpful, give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and I see you guys in the next one. Because I enjoy doing this, and I will keep doing it if you guys enjoy watching it. But if you guys don't watch it, then I'll probably still do it. But you know what I'm saying, it just makes me, it's just not as fun talking to myself all the time. I actually want to feel like I'm talking to somebody. Okay. But like I said, if you found this video helpful, give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.